So there comes a time where all of us at one point or another, or at least the greater majority, have made the biggest mistake, and that's paying a debt collector and paying collections. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, and you're probably thinking, well, Irv, I want my credit score to go up, or I'm tired of having a 500 credit score, or I'm tired of being in the low 600s, so I'm trying everything in my power to boost my credit score. And look, I get it. I've been there. But here's the thing. If you've paid collections in the past, and if you've ever paid a collector, did you notice that when you checked your credit report the following month, well, your credit didn't shoot up at all, and in some cases, your credit score either remained the same or it actually went down. You see, paying a collection agency and paying a debt collector does absolutely nothing for your credit score, and that's why I strongly recommend for you to watch this video for you to find out why you should never pay a collection agency. And don't forget to share this information with someone that you know could be committing the mistake of paying a collection company thinking that their credit score is going to go up, or has paid a collection agency and hasn't seen their credit score go up at all. Now you're probably wondering, okay, Irv, well, they've sent me these letters stating that company XYZ, that they've now taken over the debt of the other credit card company, or maybe a phone company that I owed money to. So what do you mean I don't have to pay these collection agencies? They have my name, they have my address. I think I owe them money. Let me help you out, because this is how it works with collection companies. When the original creditor, let's say credit card company ABC, has been trying to get someone to either pay their debts or pay the amount of money that they owe because they've fallen behind for whatever reason that is, after 180 days, whether it's at the end of the year or let's say after the 180 days, they decide to then do what's called a charge-off. And a charge-off simply to them means we are now writing this off of our books because of tax purposes. We've now taken a loss on this. So now they're going to do one of a couple of things. They're either going to charge it off and call the insurance company, let them know that, hey, we've taken a loss on this. Or within that charge-off, they then call collection agencies, and then they sell that portfolio of charge-offs, which is a pool of hundreds, if not thousands of different charge-offs from different people, not just one person. And now what do these collectors do in these collection agencies? Well, they buy this portfolio of debt from the original creditor for, again, hundreds, if not thousands of people for pennies on the dollar, literally getting a portfolio of 1,000 names and 1,000 different statements for $10, maybe even $15, when in return, it's already been written off as a tax loss to these original creditors. So now these collection agencies are just looking to double dip on what another company has already profited off of. So first things first, one of the reasons you are not obligated or even should be paying these debt collectors is because legally, you never made a legal binding contract with them stating that you are going to get a loan from them and that you will be paying them back. That's between you and the original creditor, which, remember, it's already been charged off. The second reason is because, remember, these collection agencies already purchased that debt from the original creditor. But here's how that works. When they purchased that debt, they were only buying these snapshots of these contracts for the original contract, but they don't actually own the original contract. That's right. So they don't have a physical copy of your wet signature verifying and validating that you actually owe them that money and that you're indebted to them. And the reason why more often than not they don't have that information, even though they'll send you these harassing letters that say, hey, we've been assigned by XYZ credit card company that you owe them, we've now taken over the file to legally come after you, is, well, it would cost them significantly more money, because remember, they're buying in the thousands when it comes to these portfolios, to actually get their hands on that information from the original credit card company that someone owes the money to. Let's say that this cup or this mug signifies the debt that they are selling off to these collection agencies, and the markers represent all the debt that's being sold off. Well, here's the thing. All the debt that's being sold off in here doesn't have the actual original contracts in it, because they're all right here. And that's what makes it more expensive for them to buy it on the back end. And at the end of the day, it is a business transaction for them, and an extremely risky one at that. Let's say that they buy 10 different charged off accounts from these original creditors with all the information. Well, guess what? They now have to go through the same process of trying to get someone to actually cough up the money that they owe, because it's already been proven that the person doesn't have any money or has shown that they cannot pay that amount of debt within the last 180 days leading up to them going into collections and becoming an official charge-off. So rather than running the risk of them not possibly seeing a return on their investment by purchasing maybe a more expensive original contract for the debt owed, these companies will go ahead and settle for hundreds, if not thousands, of different collections within one big debt portfolio, because if, let's say, they, for whatever reason, aren't able to get any money on it, well, it only costs them $10-15 for, again, that big portfolio to begin with. And this is why you always see them calling you hundreds, if not thousands of times a day, calling your friends, calling your relatives, and now it gets super embarrassing because now everyone's knowing, or everyone thinks at least, that you owe these different companies this amount of money. And not only is that a form of harassment, but you can also send them a letter that's a cease to desist if they continue to call you. These companies don't own the original contract, they don't have any hard evidence on you, and in some cases, they're not even licensed to collect debt in your state. And this is exactly why you never want to pay collectors, because at the end of the day, they're just trying to get money out of you. This is why they're so quick to settle a debt after trying to harass you, calling your mom, calling your dad, calling everyone that could possibly be tied to you. And by the way, I never recommend for you to be in direct communication with any type of collection agency via phone. If you are and you are trying to dispute, or if you are trying to get some type of debt validation, which we'll talk about here in just a second, then I recommend doing all of that correspondence via mail. Again, companies like this have hundreds, if not thousands, of different people that they have in rotation, constantly getting called, constantly getting bombarded. And this is why they're so quick to settle, let's say, a $4,000 debt that you had with the original creditor down to, let's say, $500 with a collection agency. But again, it doesn't do anything to improve your credit score other than giving you, or your credit score, a satisfaction stating that you've finally paid off the collection agency, but it never comes off of your credit. So there's two things that you can do. You can either send the debt collection agency validation letters, letting them know, hey, look, I want to get this debt verified. And if you don't know how to do that, then I recommend that you reach out to someone that maybe has some experience, maybe a lawyer, or maybe someone in your local town that knows how to handle collectors and put them in their place. Or you can send dispute letters disputing this debt, letting them know, hey, look, this debt doesn't belong to me. Or if you did settle for whatever reason and that is still showing up on your credit and you want it deleted from your credit report, you can send dispute letters over to Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax. Now, one really important thing that you do want to find out is the statute of limitations for your specific state and how long that stays on your report and how long they can continue to come after you for it. One dirty tactic that these collection agencies do, which again just drives me crazy, is they will literally find the way to have someone pay it, or somehow it magically gets paid, or somehow they magically find a way to have a statement pulled up where it says on this date you paid even $1 toward it. And this yet again throws you into that loop. So rather than waiting 4, 5, even 6 years for it to come off, well, it again starts the cycle. I've heard of stories where people are literally on their final week before it comes off after waiting 3, 4, even 5 years. And then all of a sudden they get a report the following month stating that, well, they went into some type of payment plan with these collection companies, which again, it beats me of why anyone would ever do something like this to begin with. And there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed this video on why you should never pay a debt collector in a collection agency. If you haven't done so already, and if you found value in this contract, would you mind sharing it with someone that you think is committing the biggest mistake that they could be making with their credit? And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. And if you found value in this content, tap that like button because it lets YouTube know that this is information worth sharing with other people. And tap that notification bell and join the notification squad so you can be notified every time we have content like this dropping each and every single week. Once again, my name is Irvin Pena, also known as Irv Official. Until next time, everyone, we'll see ya.